I think in terms of concepts, the first concept that's really important is the absent referent, which I introduced in Sexual Politics of Meat and then developed more in the Pornography of Meat. The idea of the absent referent is that animals are absent reference in a culture that uses their bodies and their sexual reproduction through eggs and milk for food. That the animals disappear in three ways. One is that they die, they're killed. You can't have meat, as it's called, without the death of the animal. They also disappear conceptually. We see that in the environmental crisis. People don't think about the fact that, for instance, cows have to eat and drink, and then they fart, and they produce so much manure because we're not conceptualizing the animal who died. We're not conceptualizing the animal as they live and what it means to them to be alive and to be killed. So conceptually, they disappear. I don't know if this is true with your language, the way it is in English when I talk about how they disappear in naming. We, in the United States, we say we're eating a hamburger, we're eating a steak, we're eating a T-bone, we're eating, all of these things that conceptually through naming make the animal disappear. And then the third way animals disappear is metaphorically. We take their experience and then apply it to some form of oppression that humans experience. We say humans are guinea pigs, or I was treated like a piece of meat, or examples like that where our language relies on the oppression of animals without challenging that oppression. So that's the first concept, absent reference. And even though cows and chickens are alive as they produce mammalian milk and eggs, they're still absent reference because we think that this is something natural to them to produce that much milk, or that we're just taking the extra milk the calf didn't need. Egg production, as it's called, chickens in the wild would have produced, say, 28 or 29 eggs in a year. Now they're producing up to 280. Feminized protein. That's something I coined in the Sexual Politics of Meat. In the 19th century, writers, advocates talked about animalized protein. And what they meant that all protein is from plants. Some of us get it directly, and some of us require animals to eat the vegetable protein, and then we kill the animal and eat them. So I thought, well, we need a term to capture what it means that we're sexually exploiting female animals for food. And so I coined the term feminized protein for mammalian milk and eggs. For the third concept, I think because we're talking about pornography of meat, I think it's anthropornography. And I know we'll get back to that concept. But the idea that there are certain ways that a sort of pornographic gaze is applied and put on animals. So conventional, maybe in the West, for sure, conventional ways of showing sexual availability of women is then applied to animals who are seen as available to be consumed, so that there's a double entendre. What kind of consumption? Is it sexual consumption or actual consumption? And it's in that sort of place where, is it a joke? Is it serious? That we find interconnected oppressions. And an interconnected oppression, we can often observe it, that one kind of absent referent, like the animal, is used to leverage or intensify another kind of oppression, like the oppression of women. So showing women on all fours, or calling them old cows or fat cows, that's leveraging animals' oppression for women. And with anthropornography, that is leveraging women's sexual consumability in our visually oriented culture towards animals. So those are the three concepts.